want to welcome you to another exciting episode of Pens in Use. I have a little smaller selection of pens this week. I've had a very busy week. I have not gotten a lot of things done that I would have liked to have done, but such is life when you're a teacher at this time of year. So my pens, I have here the Kaweco Skyline Sport, a Jinhao X10, a Noodler's Neponset, Aurora 88, Lamy 99, Kaweco Dia 2, Pilot Custom 74, an Esterbrook Pastel, and a Wingsung 698. I should mention that in that batch of pens, you saw five of the next six reviews. So, spoiler alert. Too late. So let's take a look at how they're rating. First one up is the Kaweco Sport Skyline. Honestly, there wouldn't be any particular reason to review this one because I've already done a review of the Kaweco Sport. The reason I would review this one is the double broad nib. So today is December 1st. That, by the way, is one of the things that will be brought up in my review. This pen boasts a double broad nib, and the ink in it, I'm going to cheat because I forgot. Oh, I should have remembered that. Robert Oster. I put it in this pen because it can be a very wet writer. So, nice pen. I like the Kaweco. It's just, well, wait to the review. This is one that was sent to me by a viewer. This is the Jinhao X10. This is a very small pen. I think I showed you last week, even next to the Kaweco Sport, it is very small. I kind of wonder how it compares to those very small, the Kaweco Lilliput, but I don't know. I suppose if I weren't so lazy, I could just look up the measurements online, couldn't I? It uncaps, posts to a respectable length. This is actually one of those pens. I don't usually post, but this is one I do. Whoops, Jinhao. The ink in it is Aurora Blue Black. I'm glad I have a fair amount of the sample left because I feel like I'm not getting a fair look at the ink in this particular nib. The ink is, you know, I definitely see the blue-black, but it definitely is more on the black side. And then, of course, this is a very fine nib. You know, the pen writes okay. It's a little slim, even for my taste. Now, here's one little blast from the past, which you see I'm kind of doing this. I was going to do it off-screen, and you wouldn't know, but I'm doing it. This is holding one of those glittery inks. So this is the Kaweco... I'm sorry, wow. This is the Noodler's Neponset. The finish is Solomon Silver. Don't bother looking for this at your local pen retailer. I won this in a contest several years ago, and this became my first review. It's also going to become my second re-review of a fountain pen. And we'll see how it holds up over time. I had it inked up anyway to do some cards. Oops, I can get angled right since it's a flex nib. This is not as easy as when I'm sitting at... well, I've never shown you where I do my writing. You may be shocked. So this has a music nib, but they all do. The ink is Herbin, something like that. 1670 Stormy Seas. Ay, ay, ay. I waited a little bit too long to film this. I will see tomorrow morning if I still feel like publishing it. I'm definitely tired, but not as tired as when I re-reviewed that other pen. Oh, that was awful. So it's supposed to be sort of a glittery ink, and I was shaking up the glitter. I guess you can see it a little. I find that it just does not photograph or video well. Oh, this is my beloved Aurora 88 vintage pen. The new ones are quite a lot more expensive. I have a bottle of Aurora Black because it came with my Aurora Duo cart. So I thought, what the heck? Let's let it drink its own ink. This one is a Lamy 99. Very plain black pen. Has an L there, nothing there. This will be one of my vintage. This will be my vintage review, actually. Well, one of them. I guess I have two. This is a fine oblique, or I should say, an oblique fine nib, which haven't quite figured out how I'm going to do it yet. Well, maybe you can see it just barely. There's an OF there anyway for oblique fine. Alrighty, Lamy 99 oblique fine, and I am looking at that. I am drawing a total blank what that ink is. I don't think I inked that up last week. No, doggone. I hate it when I do that. I will overlay it in the post-production. I want to say this is Lamy Petrol, but I don't know. All right, well, that was embarrassing. I do know what's in this pen. This is the Kaweco Dia 2. I actually have a 1930s Kaweco Dia, which I might have to bring out one of these days. So the Kaweco Dia 2 is the modern incarnation. I have a broad nib, and mine is the gold nib. I mention that because the gold and the steel nibs have a very different character. And the ink in it is Robert Oster. What do you think? Summer Storm. I liked it. I bought a bottle. Good stuff. Very nice color. It goes on sort of greenish and then it dries to a more stormy color. Like it a lot. And this broad nib really shows that off. Alrighty. This is a pen that may or may not get re-reviewed. I have to look when I last reviewed it. And I misnamed it before. This is a Kaweco. Oh, wow, I keep wanting to say Kaweco. The Pilot Custom Heritage 92. I'll tell you why I said 74 after I get this written. So the nib is broad, and the nib actually comes from a Pilot Custom 74 that I used to own, which is why I said 74, because I was thinking about the fact that I'd replaced the nib. I had a fine nib in this pen when I bought it, and then I had the 74 with the broad, and I liked the broad nib better, but I liked this pen better, so I did a swap. And then a new person who's hopefully happy owns the 74. All right, the ink in it is Noodler's Matahari's Cordial. And I just find the First World War quite interesting, and so I was interested in this ink. And I wonder if it was called Dusky Purple or something, if I would still like it as much, but I like it. My Esterbrook Pastel pen, another pocket pen, another review that I'll be doing soon. And I don't remember the number on the nib. Oh, 2341B. This is what they call a relief nib, which means it's cut at an angle. And then the ink is Pelikan 4001 dark green. Dunkelgrün. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. And the last one, which I just did a review of it this week, my Wing Sung 698. This pen does get inked up occasionally. Basically, I like to have a black writer. The place I'm finding this one is it's more often than not, if I want a writing pen in a color that's not black, that's where this pen ends up falling. And of course I have a fine nib, and I made a big deal of this in the review. This is Platinum Classic ink, which means it's an iron gall ink. Lavender black. This ink will oxidize over time and grow darker and darker. You can already see it beginning to happen. But let me flip back a page here to last week's sample, and I'm just going to, oops, wrong way. I'm going to zoom in on it at least as much as I can. All right, so I'm beside the word black. Let me write a K this week. You see the difference in color? It is, and that's 1 week's worth of aging. Did I use it the week before? No. So we'll have to call it good there. So quite a difference in color, and that's kind of impressive. I don't know if it will ever go totally black, but interesting nonetheless, at least to a pen nerd like me. So those are the pens I'm writing with. I'll get this over to the side here. So those are the pens I'm writing with this week. A little bit fewer than last week, and just it's been a busy week. I did not get that Conqueror fixed the way I'd promised. I planned to. Like I said, busy week. I had planned to go to Lead on Saturday, and that's not going to happen. In fact, if I want to get anywhere, it has to be Friday evening. It's the only time this weekend I have a chance to get anywhere, so I don't know if I'll be getting anywhere. Short answer. Anyway, I have some driving footage saved up that I haven't used, so that might be a chance to get some of that used up. I don't know, where's the time go? It just you wouldn't think teaching you'd have weekends used up by stuff, but you often do, and you have evenings used up. I'm going to have a little free time Sunday morning. I'm hoping to actually get ahead on some pen reviews on Sunday morning, just to free up some time during the week. For the next few weeks, I probably won't film all 6 reviews, but if I have some time Saturday, I may get all 6 done this weekend, just so I can get ahead, because yeah, that's part of why you haven't been getting regular driving videos, is I've just had too much going on with teaching and so on. So what is coming? Last week, during my pen review, I used up this notebook that's been my pen reviews. The first one I ever reviewed in it was a Hero 616, which, but I couldn't even tell you what that is. I used to write comments too, but I kind of quit doing that. So clearly a 616 didn't make an impression on me. So I'm going to break in the new notebook. I'm going to do the exact same kind. This will be my review this week. I guess if I filled up one notebook. Plus I actually have used a couple others for other purposes. So anyway, that's what I'll be writing this week. I hear the furnace coming on, so I think I timed that perfectly between furnaces, because I started recording just as the furnace shut off. I should have turned it down, but I also didn't expect that 22, well, however long, there's some footage edited out if you're wondering why. But 22 minutes later, as of the recording, the furnace is running again. So, anyway, I don't know if there'll be a driving video this week, but look forward to more pen stuff coming up. I'm trying to keep the pens and the pens in use at least regular. So, I thank you for watching. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.